Hi Stampers, thanks for joining me again today for another video tutorial. Today I'd like to share this card with you. It features a sponged moon or sun, whichever way you want it to be or look at it, along with a solid imaged floral stamp, and that stamp comes from the Just Believe set of 9. And again, I'm going to be using a clear mount set for this card. Alright, let's get started. The orange base is the regular size card, 5.5 by 4 1/4. I'm just going to put that up there. First thing what you're going to do is, I created a template by using my circle cutter to create the size of circle that I wanted for a moon or a sun, and then I just kept these for my club because this was a card that they made this month. And I'm just going to line it up on the cardstock, and then I'm going to take my So Saffron and a sponge, and I'm going to start inking up and sponging all around that circle. And I'm just leaving a little bit of a white in the middle, just to give that glow of a moon effect. A couple more times. You can make it darker in certain areas, lighter in others. I'm just going to go over that white just a little bit. And then when you remove your template, you have your sun or moon. The next step is to ink up your flower stamp. And I am using Early Espresso ink, like that. And I am going to go ahead and stamp that. What I'd like to do is get this flower, particularly, onto this little piece of paper. Oops, let's do it again on the other side. And pull that off since it's small. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set that aside, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out this flower. I find that it's easier to use my paper and kind of keep my scissors in the same position when I'm cutting things out. And I am using our great paper snips, which I absolutely love, especially for cutting small images like this out. I'm just going to get rid of that stem, but keeping all of the petals. I'm just going to go back this way and start from this direction to get that last one. Okay, so there's my flower. The next thing I'm going to do for this part, so I'm going to use my 2-way glue pen, and I'm just going to hold it with one finger and put my glue adhesive on there. And my fingernail picked it up, which is okay, because the next thing we're going to do is you're just going to hold the corner of that and dump that in your Dazzlin' Diamonds glitter. Tap off that excess, and then just go ahead and set that aside for a minute. And while we have the Early Espresso pad out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my saying. Ink that up a little bit more. And I'm going to use the large oval punch. And this just cuts it off right at the S and the period in this saying. And this saying does come with the Just Believe stamp set. I'm going to sponge around the edges of that with the Early Espresso. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to put 2 of our Stampin' Dimensionals on it, and I'm just going to set that aside by my flower. Okay, so the next step on our card is I'm going to take the 1/4 inch grosgrain old olive ribbon, and I'm just going to use my snail and put a little bit of adhesive at both ends. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it on my card. I'm just going to pick my card up, and before I peel off my dimensionals, I'm just going to lay my saying down so that I can see where I want my ribbon to go. And then if I'm happy, I'm just going to tuck that, take my saying off, and tuck my other end. Okay, right like that. Then we're going to turn this over, put some adhesive on it, and we're just going to position that in the middle of our card. I'm going to go ahead and peel the backs of my dimensionals. Sometimes it just helps if you take a little bit of a finger mark and run that down the center of those, and then one side will peel right up for you. And we're just going to place that right there. Then we still have our glittered flower, and what I'm going to do is grab a little dimensional from the side that I cut, and I'm just going to put that on the back. And then I'm just going to line that right up with that flower. Okay, and you want to make sure that all that excess glitter gets off. And the final step is I'm just going to sponge around the outside of my card to give it a little bit more depth. And there's our card. Pull down this paper so you can see it just on the white without those stamped images at the base of it. And we're all done. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.